It starts in silence. Not the silence of peace, but the stillness before collapse, before the shots are fired, before the names are forgotten. There's a weight to it, a tension that stretches across every frame, because this is not the beginning of a journey. This is the edge of something irreversible. The stars above feel colder now, not because the galaxy has changed, but because we've changed. We're no longer watching legends unfold. We're watching people bleed for causes that may never be remembered. Every step is survival. Every glance is calculation. Every moment is a question without an answer. Season 1 gave us the blueprint, the whispers, the seeds of rebellion planted in darkness. But now that darkness is on fire, and those same whispers have become war cries, this is not about hope anymore. This is about consequence, about weight, about what happens when resistance becomes reality. There is no myth to cling to, no prophecy to guide them. Just choices. Ugly, necessary, human. And in those choices we find the truth of it all. That rebellion is never clean. That freedom has no script. That sometimes the only way forward is through the flames. The faces you once saw as survivors are now soldiers, hardened, hollowed, hardened again. They don't speak like heroes. They don't move like saviors. They endure. And in that endurance, something begins to shift. Something heavy, something honest, something earned. In this video, we explore how Andor Season 2 transforms rebellion into war, how the story sheds illusion and embraces impact, how every character is tested beyond recognition, and how the galaxy far, far away has never felt closer to our own. Something is shifting in the shadows. You can feel it in the stillness between missions, the way silence now carries weight, the way footsteps echo longer than they should. Season 1 was about sparks in the dark. Season 2 is about the fire that follows. Where once Cassian was learning how to resist, now he's learning how to destroy. No more watching from rooftops, no more slipping through corridors like a ghost. This is the season where whispers turn into detonations, where tactics give way to consequences, and where ideals face the brutal cost of being carried forward. The slow game is over, the spyglass is shattered, the galaxy is tilting toward chaos, and the people within it are no longer trying to avoid it. They are moving toward it. They are becoming it. They are embracing the only language the Empire understands: violence. But this isn't chaos for the sake of spectacle. It is controlled, precise, mercilessly intentional. These aren't criminals, they are architects of upheaval. Andor is no longer just navigating rebellion. He is anchoring it, fueling it, leading it. And that's what makes this next chapter terrifying. Because the quiet man from Ferrix is becoming something unrecognizable. Not a leader, not a symbol, but a weapon forged in secrecy, and pointed straight at the heart of the Empire. There is no order here anymore. No clean missions, no tidy outcomes. Everything is tangled now. Ugly, raw, the rules are gone. Andor's war doesn't wait for permission. It erupts, it escalates, and it stains everyone involved. Season 2 drags us into the parts of revolution. No one romanticizes the misfires, the betrayals, the impossible choices. You start to wonder if the lines between right and wrong even matter anymore, or if they ever did. Because this isn't about justice now. It's about survival. You feel it in the eyes of every operative, in the way they hesitate before pulling the trigger. Not because of guilt, but because they know the shot will echo. It will ricochet through families, through cities, through the future itself. This is no longer sabotage. This is scorched earth. And yet, they keep going. Because they must. Because they're in too deep. Because to stop now would mean everything they've done was for nothing. And that's the real tragedy of war. Not the loss of life, but the loss of reason. So frustration boils. It bubbles under every conversation, every mission brief, every stolen glance between allies turned strangers. The rebellion is no longer building something new. It is tearing something down. And sometimes, it tears at itself too. There's a haunting stillness between explosions. A silence that hurts more than the blast. Because in that silence, you remember who you used to be. Before the cause, before the blood, before the mask of war hardened into your skin. Andor is losing pieces of himself, not in one grand moment, but in 100 tiny cuts. He's not just fighting the Empire anymore. He's fighting to hold on to anything real. A voice, a name, a reason. Something to remind him that he was once more than a mission. Season 2 drips with sorrow. It's in the way characters look away when asked to kill, the way they flinch at kindness, the way they pretend they're still human, when deep down they know they've crossed a line they can never return from. This is not a tale of triumph. It is a funeral march played in reverse. Each choice made to save others seems to bury another part of themselves, and that loss is never spoken aloud. It lingers, it corrodes, it whispers. Because war does not only take lives, It takes memories. It takes warmth. It takes the ability to dream. And for many in this story, dreaming has become a dangerous luxury they can no longer afford. Still, in the midst of ruin, there is something incredible taking shape. Something vast and deliberate and undeniable. A rebellion no longer scattered, no longer fragmented, but pulsing with direction. Cohesive, strategic, alive. You see it in how missions connect now. How people who once acted alone are suddenly moving like limbs of the same body. Different voices, different motives, but one shared fury. One shared vision. And that unity is breathtaking. This is the part of the war where legends are born. Not through prophecy, but through planning, through blood, through brilliance under pressure. You watch as each moment, each decision, builds a tide no empire can outrun. The visuals burn into your mind. The tension coils around your spine. Every conversation feels like code. Every look could be a signal. And somehow, all of it flows into something larger. Something unstoppable. And that's where the OW comes in. Because this rebellion is no longer an idea. It's an organism, a force, a storm gathering beneath the stars. And for the first time, you believe it might actually win. Hope is different now. It's not soft, it's not poetic. It is jagged, weathered, scarred from every failure. But it's still alive. And that alone makes it sacred. You see it in the faces of those who choose to keep fighting, who have no reason left except the belief that something better must exist beyond the fire. Hope doesn't shine in this war. It burns, fierce, unrelenting. Andor carries that flame now. Not with speeches, not with banners, but with action, with presence, with sacrifice. He doesn't just believe in victory, he believes in the cost of it, and he's willing to pay. Every decision he makes is a spark. Every refusal is resistance. Every silence is defiance. And even though the path grows darker, that ember keeps glowing, refusing to die, refusing to be snuffed out by fear. That is what makes it so powerful. Because in a galaxy crumbling under weight and war, true hope is rare. It is built, not found. It is earned, not gifted. And this season shows us that hope is not the reward for rebellion. It is the fuel for it. It is the reason they still rise. It is the proof that even now, even here, the fire still spreads. This season is not entertainment. It is a reckoning. A mirror held to the heart of conflict. A reminder that war is not just strategy and victory. It is sacrifice. It is loss. It is truth stripped bare. Andor Season 2 is not just about fighting. It's about becoming something necessary, something dangerous, something real. It's about the moment when rebellion transforms into war, and how that transformation scars everyone it touches. There will be no easy victories, no clean finales, just consequence after consequence. Just people caught in the gravity of what they've chosen. And yet, there is still something sacred in that struggle. Something that gives weight to every breath they take, every risk they endure. Because rebellion without war is a dream, but war without rebellion is a nightmare. And only when the two converge does revolution become possible. This is not the story of heroes. This is the story of those who were never meant to survive, but chose to fight anyway. This season is the convergence, the evolution, the moment when everything changes. When rebellion becomes war. When names are forgotten, but choices echo forever. When silence becomes defiance. When hope becomes fire. And when fire becomes freedom.